5 at 8:07 a.m. This is the zoning violation recall hearing on zoning violation citation PZC 22-0040, County of Coconino versus Walter and Dana Bacon, taking place in the Thomas Auditorium as well as by Zoom, and Mr. Bacon is appearing by telephone. I am in receipt of the county's exhibits, including recall hearing exhibits, and I am not in receipt of a witness list, so I assume only Mr. Stento will be testifying. I'm not in receipt of any exhibits or a witness list for Mr. Bacon. As you know, after our April 7th hearing, I issued an order determining that Mr. and Mrs. Bacon were in violation of the zoning ordinance. I gave them until May 7th, 2025 to cure the violations and come into compliance with the ordinance. And I scheduled a recall hearing to determine whether they had come into compliance, and if not, then to impose penalties. Respondent is here today by phone. Mr. Stento is here at the auditorium. Mr. Stento, would you like to testify? Tell me a little bit about what's going on.
I would.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony today?
I do.
Go ahead.
Following up with the initial hearing, after a recall hearing was scheduled, we served the order from that hearing issued the day of that hearing. That was sent via certified mail to Walter and Dana Bacon, which they signed for on, it looks like 14 April. And that is the county's exhibit R1. The county would like to note too that Mr. Bacon is not in receipt of these exhibits. He did not accept service of our most recent certified mail attempt. And I was unable to personally serve Mr. Bacon. So to be clear, again, that is the order from the April initial hearing for this case. And again, that was served on Mr. Bacon on 14 April. I request that be admitted into evidence.
It's admitted.
The county performed a follow-up site visit on 5 May. Documented exhibits R2 through R5. Again, Mr. Bacon is not in receipt of these exhibits. May I clarify, Mr. Bacon, via description, the content of those exhibits?
Please do.
Mr. Bacon, the county's exhibit R2 is a photo of the alleged inoperable vehicles on the property, consisting of one burned, looks like older Jeep Comanche, a Jeep YJ, a small, it looks like Isuzu SUV. That make may be incorrect, but that may be a small truck with a camper with flat tires. At least one van, also with flat tires, and it looks like U-Haul type truck, an E350 Temperate type cab, that is also an inoperable vehicle on the property. Again, this was taken 5 May. This shows the same state of the vehicles as the county's initial exhibits, which you did see on our initial hearing, showing the state of the property in February of 2025. So nothing had changed on the county site visit as demonstrated in Exhibit R2. Exhibit R3 shows secondhand materials on the property, including some unidentified mechanical equipment. It looks like the rear or a portion of a truck bed, and some other materials. Exhibit R4 showed the, I believe, as you clarified, the former corrections bus on the property, also disabled. And Exhibit R5 shows what appears to be cages or fencing on the property. Again, these exhibits all depict the same items shown in the county's February and March of 2025 exhibits. And those exhibits being 3A through 3I and 3K, and exhibit 6A through 6G. And the county requests those exhibits for May 5th be admitted into evidence.
Okay. Mr. Bacon, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Were you
Mark
able to hear?
Yeah, most of it. Some of it bounced off the wall, but I
Okay.
understand it. Nothing has been done since. I've
Okay.
been in a homeless shelter right now, unable to drive myself, and my wife is sick.
Okay. So nothing has really changed at the property since Mark's prior
No,
inspection. Okay.
No, but as soon as my wife is done with her illness, I will be meeting with a guy to take care of the issues with the tires, and another person in regards to taking care of getting keys to the vehicles so that I can get them to start and drive.
Okay. Mr. Stento, your exhibits R2 through R5 are admitted.
Thank you.
Mr. Stento, just a quick question. So Mr. Bacon was not at the site on May 5th when you inspected?
That is correct.
Okay. All right, go ahead if you have any further testimony.
The county performed another follow-up site visit on 20 May to determine the status of the property. It was as shown in exhibits R2 through R5, no changes. And at this point, the county has no choice but to request the relief identified in the county's original testimony, with additional penalties for ongoing violations on a daily basis on property.
Okay. Mr. Stento, who did the site visits on the 5th and the 20th?
I did the site visit on 5 May, so compliance manager Mark Stento. The site visit yesterday, 20 May, was code enforcement officer Tristan Doust.
Okay, and the pictures R2 through R5, did you take those?
I did take those.
Okay. Mr. Doust's title is compliance officer?
That's correct, code enforcement officer.
Code enforcement officer, okay.
And Mr. Doust did take photos that we reviewed. I have not opted to request those admitted as evidence today because they are virtually identical to exhibits R2 through R5.
You viewed them?
I did.
Okay, and let's see. So the relief that you're requesting is the same that that I laid out in my April 7th order. Did you have one exception to that? Just that it's ongoing?
That's correct. It's as you laid out. There's an initial penalty request today, a civil fine in the amount of $600, which represents $20 per violation per day from the initial hearing date to the compliance date of May 7th, and an additional $20 per violation per day for each day the violation continues. Now, our initial relief is stated May 8th. We can certainly say each day that violation continues after 21 May.
Okay, appreciate that. Okay. Okay, Mr. Bacon, you can still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to testify today? Tell me anything more about the situation at the property?
Well, right now I'm in the homeless shelter.
Okay, hold on one second. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna put you under oath, okay? Now I can't see you,
All
but
right.
I'm just gonna trust. I'm gonna trust that you're gonna raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Tell me about your situation and what's going on at the property.
I've been trying to get out there, but unfortunately, my wife and I were sick, and we had to find a place to sleep at a homeless shelter since we got kicked out of our hotel room. The money for Social Security is either going to go towards the property to fix things up or the hotel room, and so we're out of the hotel room and in a homeless shelter due to that fact. So I have money to take care of, hopefully the tires, or if I can get it done, or the ignition system so that the vehicles can be started. And I can call the scrap dealer to remove the cages. Nobody's interested in them. So I can get rid of that. I can call somebody and I can meet him out there when I can get a chance to have somebody drive me, because right now I take medication heavy enough that I'm not able to drive myself.
Oh.
And so that's a situation right now.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear of your circumstances. That sounds rough, and I'm sorry for that.
If we can hold off on me paying the penalties until after I get this stuff taken care of, that would make things easier.
Yep, I understand. Okay. Is there anything else, Mr. Bacon?
Well, I'm hoping that a friend has put me in touch with somebody in regards to trying to get out on the property and actually have a camper that I can be close to the items and work with people quicker and easier.
Gotcha. You acknowledged earlier, though, I want to, you weren't under oath though, but did you acknowledge that nothing has changed at the property since our
No,
previous
nothing has
hearing?
changed.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed because we were kicked out of the hotel and came into the homeless shelter, and we had I had a cold first, and then unfortunately I gave it to my wife.
Oh boy.
Which
Okay.
is typical of a marriage situation, even in a homeless shelter.
I can imagine. Okay. All right. Anything else, Mr. Bacon?
No, nothing else at the moment. As I said, as soon as she's healthy enough to drive, we'll drive out there and we'll meet a guy in regards to taking care of the tires, and also see about the ignition systems,
Okay.
getting keys. Keys were burned up in the fire.
Was there a fire out there at the property?
Yeah, the tunnel fire.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Bacon. I appreciate your testimony. Mr. Stento, anything further?
Yeah, I would like to offer a couple of comments on Mr. Bacon's testimony. Mr. Bacon should be aware that without a permit, it is unlawful to occupy an RV on the property, maybe unlawful period, depending on the zoning. Because there are ongoing violations on the property, the likelihood of the county issuing such a permit, even if applicable in this situation, is slim to nil. So it would be best if Mr. Bacon was aware that he should not be creating another violation by attempting to camp on the property unlawfully. The vehicles themselves, Mr. Bacon has noted he intends to drive them off. Satellite imagery, site investigations for the last 3+ years have shown no movement in any of those vehicles. Several of them are damaged from fire. The likelihood that any of those vehicles can be driven off is very, very slim. And we've had this discussion with Mr. Bacon before. We don't find Mr. Bacon's proposed scenario particularly likely. However, in regard to the fine payment schedule, Mr. Bacon did note he would need to, or would appreciate being able to, discuss payment of those fines after the violations were resolved. The county is willing to discuss a fine payment plan and compliance plan with Mr. Bacon. And work something out that works for him as well.
Well, thank you, Mr. Stento.
Now,
I am
I'm
going to
aware
go
of
ahead.
some-
Just go ahead, Mr. Bacon.
Okay, Mr. Stento and I had worked out that if the vehicles were licensed and drivable and move them around on the property, that there would be no violation incurred on those. Is that correct, or has that changed?
Licensed, registered, and operable vehicles are not enforced under section 4.7 of the zoning ordinance. Section 4.7 being the section the county alleges the property is in violation of. So again, licensed, registered, operable vehicles may be parked within some limitations on private property in Coconino.
Okay. And in regards to the one mechanical piece of equipment that's a trailer on a truck bed, that is a generator, and according to state registrations, that does not get licensed. Does not
Okay.
need to get licensed.
Noted.
And okay. So we will when I meet the people out there, hopefully in the next couple of days, if my wife gets better, I will keep Mark appraised as to what's going on.
Okay, well,
That'd be
gentlemen,
equivalent.
gentlemen, the scope of today's recall hearing was simply determine whether the property is in compliance or not as of today, and if not, to
No.
impose penalties. So, despite Mr. Bacon, your unfortunate current circumstances, I'm going to follow what the zoning ordinance says and impose the penalties that were set forth in my earlier order. I encourage both of you to continue your communications. If you can work out a payment plan, great. That'll be between you guys. If you need that memorialized in an order, please come back to me and ask for that to be done. Mr. Bacon, if you can get those vehicles licensed and registered and operable, then by all means do so. But viewing them, that seems a little bit unlikely, and viewing the history of this case, that seems a little bit unlikely.
Well, the big
But if you
vehicle,
can, do,
bus-
hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
If you can do it, then all the better for you, and that will stop additional fines from building up on you. Okay, so I wish you good luck in getting that taken care of. I also want to point out that once I issue these this order, that does not stop your obligation, Mr. Bacon, to bring the property into compliance. So even with these fines in place, you still have an ongoing obligation to bring the property into compliance. And once you do, that will start to stop the fines from continuing to build. Okay.
Okay. And I am not allowed to put any camper on the property in order for me to be there on site to work with people and the cleaning up. Is that correct?
That's what Mr. Stento said, and I would encourage you to have communications with him and his office directly to see what those rules are and what you can and cannot do.
Okay.
All right. So I wish you good health, and I hope that you're able to get out there and do the things that you said you're going to do. I'm going to issue a written order shortly, and that will be circulated to both of you, Mr. Stento. Just make sure that Mr. Bacon gets a copy of that when you get it, okay?
I understand.
Okay. All right, if there's nothing further, we'll be in adjournment.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good luck, Mr. Bacon.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.